He's already on. Testing. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Wilson, Burnett County Judge. I now call this Burnett County Commissioners Court meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. The time is now 9:01. I call agenda item number 2, invocation and pledges. We'll begin the meeting with a prayer. I ask Minister Alex Simmons with the Lake Country Church of Christ to please come to the lectern and ask God's blessing on our Burnett County and this meeting.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, as we come before you now, we are grateful and we are appreciative for Judge Wilson and for this county's thoughtfulness and mindfulness to keep you at the forefront. We're thankful for this county and Judge Wilson thinking of you and wanting you to be a part of this session and a part of this court. We ask that you would please be with Burnett County, that the officials in charge would always strive to do your will, always strive to do what's right. We're thankful for the community that we have here. We're thankful for the blessings and the freedoms that we have in this country. We ask that you would continue to be with both the government here in this county, in our state, as well as our nation, that they would always strive to do your will and always strive to do what's right. We're thankful for all that you've done for us, and we're thankful for giving us the opportunity to assemble here this morning. Pray that everything that takes place would be done in wisdom, that there would be much thought given to the things that are happening here this morning. We're thankful for you, most of all, and all that you've done for us. It's in your Son's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledges to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Mr. Simmons. So I'm going to jump ahead to a part of the acknowledgement section in the back of the meeting book. And it's I'm going to call part of agenda item number 38. It's something we often do. I just wanted to read a proclamation about the state of Texas. From the Office of the Governor, the strength and security of our state, nation depend in a large part on the dedication of criminal justice and correctional professionals who work tirelessly to keep our communities safe. In the ongoing effort to combat crime and break cycles of repeat offenses, pretrial, probation, and parole officers play an essential role by supporting effective community supervision and corrections program that promote accountability, rehabilitation, and public safety. These highly trained professionals make a meaningful impact through risk assessment, individualized supervision strategies, and steadfast guidance for offenders seeking to rebuild their lives after paying their debt to society. Their work fosters responsibility, encourages positive behavioral change, and helps create safer communities for all. Reducing recidivism remains a cornerstone of effective criminal justice systems, and the men and women serving in community supervision and corrections are instrumental in advancing that mission. Through their dedicated service, they help individuals successfully reintegrate into society, pursue productive futures, and avoid returning to the lives of crime. Each July, Texas recognizes and celebrates the invaluable contributions of pretrial probation and parole officers whose commitment strengthens public safety and supports rehabilitation across the Lone Star State. Their efforts continue to advance the mission of protecting communities, encouraging lasting positive change, and helping offenders successfully transition back into society. At this time, I encourage all Texans to recognize the dedicated services of these officers. Their courage and commitment help to make our state a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Therefore, I, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas, do hereby proclaim July 19th through the 25th, 2026, to be Pretrial Probation and Parole Supervision Week in Texas. I urge all Texans to observe the occasion and appropriate ceremonies and activities, in testimony whereof I have hereunto fixed my signature the 4th day of June. Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas. I just want to say, as an old probation officer, former probation officer, I'm very grateful to the work that these folks do. You have no idea the dedication, the nights and long hours that they spend trying to sit in emergency rooms, or at least that's what I do, and positively affected people in our own community. And stick with them year after year. I mean, some of those probation sentences are 10 years. You get to know some of those rascals better than you know your own family sometimes. But I really appreciate what you do, and I just thank you, and I want to applaud you for what you're doing. Would y'all like to come up and get a picture with us? We'd appreciate it. Come on up. Yeah. Come right in front of me. Get over here a little bit.
Get on your knees, brother.
I'm calling you. There we go. Come on.
Stand in front of the okay. Hold on, wait.
For the press. You can stand there. That's okay.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to call agenda item number 4, discuss, consider, and take appropriate actions regarding the burn ban for the unincorporated areas of Burnett County, Texas. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Pull that mic up real high now.
Ed Hashbarger, interim Burnett County Emergency Manager. So I recommend that we put the burn ban back on. I pulled reports from all the fire chiefs in the county. We've had 14 fire incidences in the last 10 days. So 10 of those have been in the last week. Reports from the northern part of the county, which typically dries out faster than the south. The grasses are already starting to dry, and we're starting to see heavy fuels starting to dry out as well. The last 2 fires we've had, we've started to see smaller cedars starting to torch. So those are all our indications that we're drying out pretty rapidly. We've got some winds and looks like no relief with rain anytime soon. So I recommend that we apply the burn ban.
Okay, thank you. I hear a motion.
I'm not sure, doctor. I was looking up some information.
All right.
350 on there.
374.
374.
Yes, sir. The high 445. up 12 points from yesterday.
Our next regular scheduled meeting is 14th, but we do have a meeting on the 5th. Is that right? Yes. 5th, 6th, and 11th, we have additional meetings. So right now, the drought index is lower than normally what we usually set it at.
374, yes, sir.
And usually it's 495 where we set it.
We usually right around 500, but
Okay.
that's just historic and it doesn't, the KBDI reflects ground moisture, not, yes, exactly. not
Okay.
Fuel moisture, so. I'd make a motion to instate a burn ban effective noon today.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Dockery, seconded by Commissioner Byerly, that we institute a burn ban on unincorporated areas of Burnett County, Texas. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Okay. I call agenda item number 10, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve, sign, and execute necessary documents and actions regarding to the Title VI compliance, non-discrimination statement, the Title VI non-discrimination assurances, and Title VI non-discrimination plan to remain in compliance as TxDOT grant subrecipient. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. All right, close public comment. Do you want to go ahead and lay out the basic of this?
These are documents that Colleen and I have been working on for several weeks, as y'all know, and we've accepted the edits and we've talked to Development Services. We've implemented some changes to some forms or we're working on it. So it's ready to be approved.
And what's the purpose of implementing these?
It's to be in compliance with the subrecipient program through TxDOT, so
Okay.
that we can continue to receive funding.
Okay. And so this is also tied to the fact that we went several years out of compliance with several of these issues. We ended up discovering when we got the $10 million appropriation through Congress about the Ward Stand Bridge that all of a sudden we had to get into compliance or not be able to receive these funds. So this is another stroke, and we did the ADA a few weeks ago, and then you were designated as the ADA officer. Now this is the Title VI contact on this. Okay.
Yes, we're checking boxes
Okay.
that TxDOT requires us to check.
And they're the societal, they're legal requirements and
Right.
societal
Yes,
important
they'll
documents.
benefit the county.
Okay. And the people. So do I hear a motion? Okay, Commissioner Luther has moved. Second?
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Dockery is seconded. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 12, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding reclassifying IT software support position 104,1040 to project manager, government compliance coordinator at Group 69, Step 8, and amount not to exceed $1,200 for the remainder of FY26, and change the position's classification to exempt. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? I close public comment. Anything you want to say about, let me start off with, this position has changed radically over the last year and a half. It's being asked to do things way above its pay grade, including the ADA, the Title VI that we just voted on. It's helped serve as project manager for most of the TxDOT projects that we're in the middle of. We've got the ESW, the facilities, the land use plan. We've got the after action reporting that's going on. So it's just critical to have somebody to keep up with all the documentation and effort that we need, that this Commissioners Court has so many projects going. So I recommend approval. Do I hear a
Move for
motion?
approval.
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Luther's seconded. Any further discussion?
The one thing I've heard from folks, and I'll say we do need this position. the IT support position needs to have a little bit of a guarantee that that's gonna happen before she moves out of it that's what I'm getting.
Well, she's continuing in that role right now, and will continue to do so until we solve that issue. She is working with Tyler. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Assistant Stafford County Clerk, yes, along with what Damon said, I have read the job description, and it does not mention IT support in any capacity. I just want to confirm that it hasn't even been brought up to court that this position will be added. I would like for this position to not change titles until we have confirmation that the software support is going to be funded in the budget. And then who's going to do it from now until October 1st? We have a lot of projects that are not currently happening in software, not to any fault of Jackie's, but because she's doing these other things. And we need confirmation that the things we need, that the majority of the courts, the clerk's offices, the JPs, we all have projects that are currently needing to be priority. And we want confirmation that those are going to be taken care of.
Okay.
The only question I have, can this wait until budget to make sure all those happen? I mean, we're only, what, 2 months out?
Yeah, but I mean, we're asking her to, we've been appointing her different roles, and then we've been asking her to do both the software support role, and I don't mind adding, provides, software support to this job description in the meantime, but to ask her to do the kind of work that she's doing, that she's also still classified as non-exempt, and she's being asked often to work extra hours and do more work. And so I think if we go ahead and address Clerk Stafford's issue, but, we'll do other duties as assigned, including to provide assistance on software support, lend expertise or something. You can make that change in the budget right now, so, or in the job description.
And then the budget you're building, are you adding that?
That position we talked about the other day, and I think you voted to approve, or wait, which one? Okay.
The IT support.
The supports position has not, that's in the request for IT, but it's not, IT has not come before the Commissioners Court yet. But that's something we'll definitely have to take into consideration. Okay. Any further discussion? All right. It's been moved by Commissioner Dockery, seconded by Commissioner Luther. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. And I'm going to make I'll make sure that the software support continues to be taken care of. You can go ahead and go to your. Okay, I call agenda item number 3. Public comments pursuant to Texas Government Code 551-0.007, the Burnett County Commissioner Court Rules of Decorum. Any person may make comment on any item not appearing on this agenda. Any comments made will not be addressed by this Commissioner's Court during public comment agenda item. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Does anybody want to make a public comment for items not on the agenda?
Charlie Parker. 250 years of freedom to digital mass surveillance in Burnett County. You are all servants of the people. You all took an oath to support the U.S. Constitution. I would appreciate everybody paying attention to me while I'm talking. The Fourth Amendment is very clear. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. On March the 11th, 2025, the 4 commissioners approved a $44,000 contract with Flock. The approval did not include any discussion between the commissioners No explanation of what Flock was, what service Flock would provide to the public, or who would use the Flock service. The word camera was never spoken. License plate readers were never discussed. 24-hour-a-day surveillance of each passing vehicle was never revealed during the court meeting. In less than 4 minutes, all 4 commissioners voted to approve the Flock contract without hesitation or the slightest concern. No one in Burnett County was informed about this intrusive technology. No one in Burnett County had a say in this. An administrative court conducting business with taxpayers' money with zero transparency and zero concern for the fiduciary responsibilities to the taxpayers of Burnett County. You are all violating the social contract with the people who you are supposed to be serving. Obviously, there's not a single elected official on this court that has the slightest regard for protecting the inalienable rights of the citizens in Burnett County. That should be the first and highest responsibility of every elected official in Burnett County. You are all servants of the people in the county, and you have all failed miserably in the performance of your duties. Your audacity and utter disregard for the people is shocking. How dare you all? Mass surveillance and outdoor prison cameras are not acceptable. The inalienable right to privacy and due process is non-negotiable. George Orwell's novel, 1984, was a warning, not a guide. I'm calling on this court and the Burnett County Sheriff to end this contract with Flock and remove all Flock cameras and hardware from Burnett County immediately. More 1776, no more 1984. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, close public comment for items not on the agenda. I call agenda item number 5, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding appointments to the Capital Area Regional Transportation Planning Organization, also called CARTPO Board. We have consideration to reappoint Commissioner Jodan Dockery and Marble Falls Councilman Richard Westerman, appoint County Judge Brian Wilson. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. You want to lay this out?
CARPO is the Capital Area Regional Transportation Planning Organization, and welcome to a Friday meeting in Austin.
Yeah. So this is inside of CAPCOG and the part that they play in coordinating regional transportation, which is becoming more and more important every day. So is there a motion?
Move to approve A and B.
Okay. Commissioner Collier has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 6, could discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to create a magistrate board and set the charges and responsibilities of the board and appoint its members. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Is there any elected official that wants to speak to this agenda item? Okay. We were talking a few weeks ago about the appointed officials I put on the agenda item. And realized that while we have elected officials that we dealt with on the budget, and we had employees that we dealt with in the budget, I pointed out, and we discussed that there were 3 appointed officials in Burnett County. 2 of them had boards, 1 of them did not. I had recommended that I needed to come, get with the judges, and I got with the sheriff and talked to about this magistration board. And then I originally suggested just the sheriff and the county court at law, but after I reached out to the district judges, they thought it was appropriate that they would be on it as well. That leaves us with a 5-member board. Since then, I think there's been some collateral contact by the JPs that they'd also like a position on the board. But I, quite honestly, commissioners, I took that comment, but I just don't have the capacity to go back and get with the district judges. They're very difficult, traveling 4 counties to work out a new arrangement. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and adopt what I've put in your packet, and then go ahead and appoint the members, and then let me come back later after because I'm trying to solve a budget problem with this board, so I can get this meeting together and take a review of the compensation for us to put into our budget. Adding complexity at this point is just a big step for me. So I would,
Is this board approved or every year? Or can it change every year or?
no, I mean, just like the Public Defender Board and of course, the Elections Commission is set by statute, isn't that right? So that's set in statute, and they recommend compensation for that elections officer. The Public Defender Board, I need to have a meeting, and then if we adopt this, then I'll be able to have a meeting to go ahead and recommend compensation for this position.
No, I'm changing, can the board change every year? We have to approve it every year, or how long do they? set the board?
Normally, once we set up a board like this, it would just stay until the Commissioners Court took action. So it's, because it's not a person, it's not about a person, it's about, it's the role. So it's the sheriff, the county, statutory county judge, and the 2 district judges and the county judge. So obviously the people change, right? But
Yeah,
the-
but just spots change.
the board would stay the same, and then we can come back in a few weeks and look at, I can have time to talk to the other judges and talk about adding the JP as a position.
I move for approval as presented.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Byerly, seconded by Commissioner Luther. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Call agenda item number 7, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding to the Road and Bridge Precinct 3 to enter the property located at 308 Buffalo Trail, Liberty Hill, Texas, 78642, owned by Loretta Alt, and for the purpose of removing tree limbs within the county right-of-way that have potential of obstructing the roadway. The property owner has provided written permission for the county personnel to enter the property.
This is basically just gives her permission, she asked for permission to get on her property to, cut the limbs,
Okay.
get them off. Pretty simple.
Commissioner
Second.
Luther has moved, second by Commissioner Byerly. Any further discussion? Any public comment? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 8, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the final plat approval for Solomon subdivision, a private subdivision consisting of 2 lots on 2.986 acres located at the end of County Road 134.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners, Herb Darling, Vernon County Development Services. We've got a simple 2-lot subdivision. Waterfront, LBJ, it's gone through all the traps. It's here today for final approval.
Any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment.
Herb, I know I brought this up before during the preliminary plat, but which road do they use to access this?
Right through the middle.
Right through the middle?
Yes, sir.
Couldn't read the topo lines, but I assumed that was right.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Luther has moved.
Second.
Commissioner Byerly has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
For the only reason is my in-laws' property is right beside that.
Okay. All right. One abstention. Hang on just a second. call agenda item number 9, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action concerning final plat approval for Mint Creek subdivision, a private subdivision consisting of 3 lots on 22.81 acres located in the 1400 block of County Road 323A. Commissioner Collier.
Judge, at the moment, we don't have a representative present.
Okay. Do you want to pass on it for right now and see if somebody shows up?
For right now.
Okay.
I'll step out
I
of
mean-
the board, see what's going on.
Thank you. All right, so I didn't bring my flags with me. Just fold that over. Okay, I call agenda item number 11, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the increase of the Treasury's Assistant Chief Deputy from step 3 to step 4. FY '26 is currently budgeted for step 4.
Good morning, Carrie Crownover, County Treasurer. This request is in regards to the current compensation policy. Allison is my current Assistant Chief Deputy, and she came on board with us in November. I could only hire her at a step 3. She came in with qualifications with local government experience. I have completed a 60-day review and a 9-month review on her, and she continues to show that she's going to be a great asset to my office. And I would like to ask the court to approve the rate increase to the budgeted amount at a step 4. It's a 60-cent increase in her current pay.
It's budgeted.
It is budgeted. It is not going to be any budgetary change in my department for this fiscal year.
I move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved, Commissioner Luther has seconded. Public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Close public comment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you. I call agenda item number 13, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the following approval of the Vernon County. That's why you weren't going away.
Yes.
You read the
I'm
agenda,
next.
you read ahead. Approval of the Vernon County Treasurer's Monthly Report, June 2026, and acceptance of the Vernon County Treasurer's Quarterly Investment Report, Q3 FY 2026, April through June.
Okay. Carrie Crownover, County Treasurer. For June of 2026, my monthly report starts with the beginning cash and investments balance of $87,660,184.19. We receipted $3,009,159.55. Our interest earnings for June were $247,416.03. We dispersed a total of $5,815,798.26, leaving us with a month ending cash and investments balance of $85,076,202.42. We received donations to Vet Rides for $7,828.51. And rolling into our, the quarterly investment report, this is going to cover April, May, and June of 2026. Just to recap, we are maintaining 74% of our cash in our pool accounts, and they're averaging 3.76% interest rate. We have 8% in CDs with our brokered CD multi-bank securities and 2% in U.S. Treasury notes. And we have 15% of our cash in our depository, which is earning a 3.3% interest rate. Our total interest earnings for the quarter were $752,002.22. And then, of course, in the report, it has it broken out by fund, so you could see the different interest earnings and where our fund balances are sitting. Excuse me, not our fund balances, what our fund totals are per pool account for each one.
So on the LPPF, are we
Yes.
getting to, this is the, for the hospitals that we collect the tax on all the transactions. So are we getting the interest on that in addition to the 20,000 administrative costs?
We do not earn interest
Okay.
on those funds.
Okay, so they take whatever that accrues into that account and goes off to the, with the.
No, it's in a non-interest bearing account.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes, we
part of
don't
the-
earn interest
That's part
at
of
all.
the
Yes.
requirement? Okay,
Mhm, correct.
all right. Interest. It's a pretty good chunk of change, isn't it? I didn't
is,
realize it
yeah.
got that big that fast. That
Yes,
I-
it's dwindled down. We have 2 expected disbursements coming out of that, the first part of August. And then we'll have to submit for refunding for that account, but currently it is,
right.
sitting at about 7 million.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Let's see, so we have an approval and an acceptance, so that we
Yes.
need to do. Thank you.
I move to approve A and accept B.
Okay. All right, so Commissioner Byerly has moved, Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you. Call agenda item number 14, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding approval of final inspection report and project closeout memorandum. I'd like to pass on this. I didn't get the rest of the financial information in time. So if you don't mind, let me skip this and I'll bring it up at another meeting. I'd really like to have the closeout and the final analysis of the numbers. Is that any objection? Okay, thank you. Call agenda item number 15, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to purchase desktops and monitors from Fund 100-4090-5750 or Fund 100-40-5750 in the amount not to exceed $3,600 for each of the following: 3 desktops and monitors for the county clerk, 7 desktops and monitors for the district clerk, and 10 desktops and monitors for the sheriff's office. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Close public comment. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second?
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 16, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the purchase of laptops and docking stations and from Fund 100-4090-5750 or Fund 100-5040-5750 in the amount not to exceed $3,550 for each of the following: 1 laptop and docking station for the county court at law and 1 laptop and docking station for the treasurer's office. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. Have a motion?
Move for approval.
Byerly has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 17, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to purchase laptops, tough books, and associated RAM from Fund 100-4090-5750 or Fund 100-5040-5750 in the amount not to exceed $5,000 for each of the following: 7 laptops or tough books for the sheriff's office. Is there any further is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I've worked out with the sheriff's office that we're going to skip number 18, go on to 19, please, unless there's an objection. Okay. I call agenda item number 19, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action for a budget amendment from the Burnett County Jail from interest earned line 505, 3600, 1050 to sales expense line 505, 5132, 3360 in the amount of $8,000. And I believe this is, I think several of these next items are from the commissary fund. And so they would be, just want to remind, as we discussed yesterday in the meeting, that these are the sheriff's prerogatives. What we're approving is not the sheriff's choices, but we're approving the budget to support his choices. Is that a good way to say that, Sheriff? Okay. Yeah, so he under the commissary, under state law, that he has access to control the commissary funds, but it still has to be budgeted appropriately within our county accounting system. So that's what we're doing on these next several items. So anyway, is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Second?
Okay, Commissioner Luther has moved. Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 20, excuse me, same as the last version. It's part of this earned interest in the commissary fund. Discuss, consider, and take appropriate action for a budget amendment in the Burnett County Jail from earned interest, line 505, 3600, 1050 to a total amount of $7,840 to the longevity line, 505, 5130, 1100 in the amount of $240. The licensing line of 505, 5130 to 4540 in the amount of $2,000. The vehicle expense line, 505, 5132, 4510 in the amount of $2,000. The capitalized equipment line, 505, 5132, 5750 in the amount of $3,050. And the inventory line, 505, 3132, 5132, 5750 in the amount of $550. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? It's another item out of the commissary fund. Okay, I close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Commissioner Collier has moved.
Second.
Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Got my glasses this time. You notice that?
You're gonna need it for all this.
Let's see. This is, I call agenda item number 21, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action on the request for interdepartmental line item transfer per Texas Local Government Code 111070C for the Burnett County Jail from the capitalized line 270, 5120, 5760 in the amount of $70,000 to the operational supply line of 270, 5120, 3300 in the amount of $15,000. The inventory line of 270, 5120, 5750 in the amount of $40,000, and the maintenance line 27, 5120, 3450 in the amount of $15,000. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. All right. Close public comment. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Okay. Commissioner Collier has moved.
Second.
Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 22, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding invoices without purchase orders or contracts as required under Local Government Code 113.901, elections to the AMG printing and mailing for printing and mailing in the amount not to exceed $3,121.95, elections to Hart Interactive Intercivic for professional services in the amount not to exceed $1,670, jail to Kimberly Marshall to reimburse for the basic jailer exam in the amount not to exceed $40. Jail to Carla Porter and the reimburse basic jailer amount in the amount not to exceed $40. And jail to Vincent Ross to reimburse basic jailer exam in the amount not to exceed $40. Is there any public comment on this agenda item?
Move for approval.
Okay, close public comment. Commissioner Byerly has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Luther has seconded. Do I hear any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Call agenda item number 23, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action for the interdepartmental line item transfer per Texas Local Government Code 111-1070C for the Burnett County Jail from the janitorial line of 270, 520, 512, 3400 in the inmate supplies line of 270, 512, 4020 in the amount of $10,000. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? I close public comment. Is there a
Move for
motion?
approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved. Second.
Second.
Commissioner Collier seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 24, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to declare 2003 Thomas Safe T Liner MVP ER transport bus, VIN number I'm not going to read, suspend budget policy 7, fleet policy A, and determine this vehicle, it's kind of implied, but determine as surplus property and authorize its disposal via public online auction pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 263-152, and all auction proceeds be returned directly to the jail restricted account 185-12-7010 pursuant to Section 263-156, parentheses 1. Basically, what we've got is a really old transport bus that requires a commercial vehicle license to operate it. That we don't have any staff, if any, at the jail to operate this vehicle. It only has something like 30, 40,000 miles, but I might be wrong, but it's very low mileage, and that's why we're suspending the policy. But it's been incurring huge expenses, and and they're on the cusp of, if they're going to keep it, it's going to have to spend $20,000 or $30,000. But again, it's over 15, almost 20 years old. Isn't that right, Matt?
23.
2003. So yeah.
23 years.
So 23 years old. I think it's one of those things we just better, it's an albatross. Let's just get rid of it. So, and that's what the jails recommend. I'm sorry? Yeah.
Move for approval.
Commissioner
Suspend-
Dockery has moved.
Suspend the policy and determine it surplus property.
Second.
Commissioner Collier seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Call agenda item number 25. Oh, how did it get to 24 again? Is that wrong?
224.
Okay, 24B. Okay, discuss, whew.
Good thing you brought your glasses.
Oh, here I go.
Yeah.
Hold on, everybody.
Do they have to all be ready?
Can we do this? Can everybody just look at your agenda and look at the different items on there and see if you have any questions? But basically, this is all interdepartmental item transfers, moving from one within multiple departments. Unless there's an objection, I'm not going to read this. It's been posted properly. Mr. County Attorney, I'm going to skip one time. What do you mean? Okay, this is massive.
As long as there's not a member of the public who feels otherwise.
Okay, any member of the public feel otherwise that I should read this? Okay, all right, is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, all right. Close public comment. Commissioners? Yeah.
Move to approve A through M.
Second.
Commissioner Collier has moved, Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Motion passes.
Are we calling that 24B officially?
It's still a continuation of 24. Sorry, I was being.
I'd call it, this would be,
Okay.
I would.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. Call agenda item number 25, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding purchases from the Sheriff's Office Machine Equipment Inventory Fund 156,5750, Mossberg 12 gauge with extra stocks, quantity 4, in the amount not to exceed $2,793.60. Smart 51 duplex color printer in the amount not to exceed $1,779.99. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Go ahead and close public comment. All right, I hear a motion. Commissioners, you're welcome to ask any questions you want about these items, but most of them have been laid out already in the book, so.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 26, consider discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding FY 26 Barnett County budget adjustments. Create the following expense line in the 911 database department to add CapCog grant funds, $5,000 to operating supplies fund 290-4230-3300, $1,000 to conference dues training fund 290-4203-4270, and add $12,500 to the 911 database department licensing fee fund 290-4203-4541. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, I close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve A and B.
It's been moved by Commissioner Collier,
Second.
Commissioner Luther is seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 27, discuss, consider, take appropriate action for the authorization of payments of claims previously approved by the county auditor, expense reports.
Move for approval.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Dockery, seconded by Commissioner Collier. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Close public comment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 28, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve each of the four Burnett County Justices of the Peace entering into and signing and executing all necessary documents related to an interlocal agreement with the Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, for the new Texas Conviction Reporting Interface effective January 1st, 2027. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. Is there anything we need to know beyond what we already have in our packets? Are we good? Okay, all right. Do I hear a
Move for
motion?
approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved. Dang it. Commissioner Luther is seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 29, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve, sign, and execute necessary documents and actions regarding the following contracts, agreements, and or grants to be approved and or ratified. Enter into an independent contractor agreement, driver for veterans transportation between Burnett County and David Landhall Hallmark, and authorization to apply for the Rural Ambulance Service Grant Program HB 3000 in an amount not to exceed $350,000 for Marble Falls EMS. And there's no match on that grant. Any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
For approval.
This is just, B is for the second one? Is that right?
Yeah, B is the.
Would be our second.
That would be, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
The second
It was the
grant.
second item on the list, but yes, it's our second ambulance under this grant
Okay.
funding. So the comptroller sent me a notice on that August 2nd, the grant will open up, and that's our second. So because we have two service providers in our county, ambulance service providers, we qualified for two individual rounds of $350,000.
Great.
It's much like the SB 22 that the sheriff gets or the DA and county attorney get. It's just kind of like, here's money, but it's for this purpose. So, all right, who moved? I'm sorry. Did Dr.
Commissioner
move?
Luther.
Oh, Luther
Luther
moved.
moved, and we don't have a second yet.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Okay. Commissioner Byerly is seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 30, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve and accept the Texas Judicial Commission on Mental Health grant award in the amount not to exceed $165 for FY 27 and 28. I realize we may have to do this again. I'll depend on legal counsel, but basically we're accepting their $165,000 for both years. And then there will be, this was some certain grant that the Texas Judicial Commission on Mental Health has given us. And so there will be some items that I'll work through the budget with you at a later date for some basic supplies, but I'll figure that out with the statutory county court. But basically, we're getting a full-time position to deal specifically, coordinate across all levels of courts and law enforcement for better outcomes in our court systems.
Who does this person fall under?
I'm sorry.
Who does this person fall under?
It'll be supervised as a court administrator in the statutory county court. But it'll be coordinating closely with the JPs and other offices throughout the whole process. It's kind of a design. You can correct me if I get off, Judge Nelson, but basically it's kind of it's a trial period where they've kind of figured out some of the mechanics of it, and they're wanting different jurisdictions to implement it and see how it works across the state. So
And there's, other than supplies that are gonna be needed, there's not a match.
there's no match for this part in years 3 and 4. If we decide to continue, if we find that it's working well for the sheriff and the courts, then there'll be, I think, a 40% match in the third year and a 60 or 80% match in the fourth year.
Declining grant.
The supervision court? The statutory, I'm sorry. Are you saying what court's supervising? It's the statutory county.
We don't have a statutory county court. We have a statutory court of law.
Okay. there you
Is
go.
that what?
Yeah, it's generally referred to as a statutory county court in the state. Anyway. Okay,
Move for approval.
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Is there a second? Commissioner Collier, second. Any public comment? Close public comment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Okay, I'm going to call agenda item 31 out of order later in this meeting. I want to move on to help facilitate someone getting here later. I don't see him back there. Okay. Call agenda item number 32, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the selection of quotes received for the county road pavement conditions assessment for 30 miles of road in each precinct in the amount not to exceed $59,970 from Fund 300, 6100, 4010. Commissioner Byerly?
We went out for quotes on this and being that it's the first time we've done it, looking at different parameters of each company, I don't know that I found any that stood out beyond the other, to rank them other than, and the placement of the quotes. I'm trying to find it. They all put it in different areas.
I'm about to say, there's not a summary page?
I should have done a one sheet on it. I apologize.
The RAS is on there, what they listed as page 12.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, we have 3 different vendors, is that right?
We were able to get 3.
Fugro, and then ARA.
And they all have a à la carte menu beyond what we've asked for to possibly lead into a management software and all that good stuff, which is something we'll probably look at later on down the road, but no pun intended.
Har.
Maybe it was. They all sent lots of
Okay,
information.
so
ARA, yeah.
ARA is about 4 pages back from the end of theirs, 35,680. Got a little dyslexia there. And then 59,970 on RAS.
ARA is what, 35,680?
35,680 is what I see on theirs.
I still haven't found ARAs.
There's a lot of
It's
one-
almost to their back of there.
It's 4
35, 6, 8, okay, found it. Project pricing, okay, that one. One more.
So we already
And then
approved,
section C in Fugaro, sorry to interrupt, but
Oh, you're fine.
it's
No, find it.
page 12 on theirs, pricing proposal 34,601.
if I'm correct, the funding's already been approved through our Road and Bridge General Fund. We took some money out of our equipment line item that was gonna be unused for the year to fund this.
Correct.
That's true.
And I think we have up to 50,000, but. Fugro is the lowest quote. Is that right?
That's correct.
Looks like to me, 34,601.
Yeah, that's correct.
I move to approve.
Fugaro?
Fugro,
Okay, Fugro. Okay.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Yes, sir.
Why was this decided 30 miles for each precinct? This was trying to, beyond what you already do.
Now this,
I think it was basically to keep the cost down. It's
we're-
120 miles.
This is an intro to assessment at this level. We've never had our county roads assessed by an outside party with, these are, they run our roads at highway speed and, similar to what a Google car looks like, I think, with a lot of things on it. I'm really showing my intelligence here. But it's gonna assess the road in a lot of different ways that, beyond that, just what the eye sees, you know, from the drive to, so we thought we'd spend a little bit of money and get some data points on our roads besides just what we think and feel.
To determine, which parts should be paved first.
Probably. I mean,
Oh.
Mainly the main arterials.
we picked arterials and then, you know, as we start weighing, you know, it gets hard, I would speak for myself, it gets harder and harder to weigh which roads to fix and, you know, because the list of what needs to be fixed is quite lengthy. And so, getting all these data points to really hone in on the roads that need to be done, is important.
this is part of this continuation of the Commissioners Court's been working on a transportation plan using data. We started with our traffic counts last September. We're working on our planning process, but we recently learned, Commissioner Byerly and I recently learned of these services. We're not, some counties do it thousands of miles across their county. We're just trying, we just agreed to, a few weeks ago in open court, we agreed to try 30 miles per precinct, see what we could learn from it, do some comparison and analysis. And so that's what we're doing today, is selecting the vendor. If it works out well for us, if it fits well into our planning process, it's something we can expand, but at least we'll have to try it first. Okay. I think you made a motion for Fugro, Commissioner
I did.
Byerly. Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Okay, Commissioner Collier, any further discussion? Any public comment? Close public comment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 33, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action, authorizing payment of to vested net approval in the Commissioners Court for June 9th to be paid from either Fund 100, 5040, 4560, or Fund 100, 4090, 4200. And so a few weeks ago, this board authorized to try a trial project, and then the department came back and wanted to pay for it. They had money in their own budget. We approved it, but then they now want to take it out of non-departmental under the telephone use. They have plenty of money in this 5040, 4560, which is generally considered for software and this type of program. Under 4200, the only thing we have right now is telephones, hard telephone lines, Frontier, where we don't have service, other kinds of service. So we wanted to, I don't think it's a good idea from an accounting standpoint or keeping up with our track to start mixing different kinds of items in here. Commissioner Collier may have a different take on it, but right now, 4200, I went and pulled all the receipts, and that is just hardened, like Frontier, and hardened telephone lines to the PD's office in places we don't have internet service, because currently our entire system is voice over IP, except for these locations where we have to buy telephone lines. So you want to say anything?
Well, it's basically, the way I look at it, it's basically all coming out of county account. So eventually, everybody's probably gonna move to this vested or some sort of true voice over IP scenario. And we're gonna get further and further away from the Frontiers, Vias, Southwestern Bell, or AT&T. You're gonna get away from those eventually. So and the way I was looking at it is put it all in non-departmental, kind of how the rest of the phone lines are purchased.
Yeah.
Or paid for. Or if it's gonna come out of every department, then at least they can, that's fine. I don't think anybody has any objections, but be sure they budget for it.
Exactly.
You know, so it's kind of either take it all out of one or let everybody be sure, hey, you budget, when you go to voice over IP, you budget for it. Now, there's probably gonna be, Greg's probably better, with some of these offices that office together and share the same communication room, how are you gonna split that? You know, you're gonna take like IT isn't gonna be in that building, departmental services isn't gonna be in the same building. I would assume probably the auditor's office is gonna be eventually hooked up to it, because they're in the same building or touching. And then the courthouse, you're gonna have the JPs, county clerks, attorneys, and commissioners. How's that gonna, is everybody gonna take part of it out when you share the same county infrastructure?
Unless I'm misunderstanding, we've been moving in the direction of simplifying, like tech stack, for example, copier, for example. So why would we, are we saying we don't want to put it in one fund?
Well, I'm just saying, in this particular case, for this year, the department came and asked for permission. And
Yes.
they had money in their budget.
Yes.
Now, we can deal with the bigger issue later, once we figure out how the pricing, matter of fact, we have another issue coming up in just a minute, that might help us sort that part out. But for this was about a department who came to our commissioners court that had money in their budget and asked for a service to be attributed, and we approved it, but then they didn't want to take it out of their budget. They wanted to move it to a line that's not related to what they're asking for it to be. So the 4,200 again is not related to VoIP or internet or anything like that. It's tied to hard phone lines throughout the county.
What is the amount of the invoice we're discussing?
Right at $2,000?
Greg Harris, Technology Director. So the initial request was not to, it wasn't a request from a department. It was a request from the Technology Department of Cybersecurity, and so that we can determine what would be a best stack for the county moving forward. So it wasn't just for us, okay, first of all. The monies that is being accrued from this bill is about $99 a month, $100 a month. We did the assessment to ensure that from what we're currently looking at as a phone bill, that we would be able to decrease our phone bill. We've also done the assessment to determine from a county perspective that we would be able to save north of $90,000 a year, moving away from what we currently have as a problem with our phone system. It is antiquated. It will not move forward. It also is tied to what we have as old technology POTS lines, and those POTS lines cannot be repaired. And so in order for us to move forward off POTS line, that technology would have to be replaced, and that's going to be a significant cost. The way we're moving forward, the way we recommend moving forward is using voice over IP. And we determined that in all of our assessments, backward compatibility and compatibility moving forward with the technology that we're currently using will be more than accurate and more than sufficient, and will allow us, as we move through technology moving forward in the future, not to be pigeonholed to a vendor like a Frontier or a Vive or whoever it might be. Currently, those things, that architecture is tied to locations of where accountability is. And so we have multiple phone support or vendors that we pay because of the location. This strategy will remove that dependency and put the dependency back on the county, where we have control over how we move forward and what we pay for, and utilize the new fiber that we are currently installing.
I understand the end result. I'm just trying to figure out why we're changing accounts, or you're asking to change accounts.
I'm not asking to change an account. This is the current account that the departments are being paid, our phones are being paid for, is from the unallocated funds for the county. It never came out of our department. And what we are asking is we continue to use those funds. We're just supplementing or replacing who we're paying. So we're not paying Frontier, we're paying Vested.
So, yeah, this request was originally a 30-day trial for a new VoIP. We already have VoIP, but we wanted to change his department to VoIP. And so now we have, he changed from one VoIP provider to another. We have ComSky, I think is the name of the company that we currently use. So this is still, the issue is from an accounting standpoint, we need to keep it in his own department. And then when we do the budget, when we get to IT, when we FY '27, like the copiers, like other things, we can deliberately choose how we want, but it still won't be, let me be clear, it still won't be out of Fund 4200 if that's what we do, because 42 is for landlines in the few places that we have like service where we don't have other kinds of service available. So, just want to be clear, if we could just, for this small amount, there's plenty of money in the department budget. The department came to us for a trial and then requested to buy the service that they tried. And we just need to let the department pay for it this year. We'll do a strategic analysis and then get it into the right fund if we're going to decide to do it in non-departmental in '27. So we can either skip or just no motion, whatever you want to do.
Where's it coming out of now? It's coming out of 4560?
4560 out of the department. It's already been paid. The first bills have been paid out of 4560 because we've never, as a commissioner's court, we've never allowed any department who comes in and requests money or authorization to expend, to spend it out of somebody else's account. It just, the department comes in, the sheriff does it all the time. They come in, ask for money to be paid. We authorize their payment, they pay it out of their accounts.
So to finish the
Well,
year.
this is a little different. IT, because this is eventually is going to encompass the whole county.
We're going to take that up next, but that's the,
So it's,
this was a request from this department to try this service and then to buy this service out of only affecting their department. So that's what this was in June. And that's what we approved. I want to be clear. We approved it. You want this service, you can have this service.
well, it was a guinea pig pilot program to make sure it's going to work with the county as a whole. I mean, as long as we change it in '27,
We will-
or look at it in '27.
Yes, we'll look at it in
Or
27.
if not, let people budget that are going to change in '27.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure somebody else is going to go through the same pilot program, and eventually it's going to trickle down through the whole county.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll
it'd
take
just be
that up.
simpler to come out of one fund, just like the other, like your landlines are coming through now. Going down with this, I'm trying to make it simple.
Sure. And for right now, Simple is leaving it with the department and paying it out of there. So if we pass on this agenda, it'll still continue to come out of 4560. Or if you skip it, if you want to skip it, or somebody can make a motion. Okay. All right. I'm going to go on. I'll call agenda item number 34. Discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding voice over internet protocol or VoIP, including A, approve, sign, and execute all necessary documents for the sheriff office to enter into a 30-day voice over internet protocol pilot program with Vested Networks. B, approval of a competitive bid or proposal procedure initiated by the county purchaser for voice over IP for Vernon County pursuant to Chapter 262 of the Texas Local Government Code and other authority. So now this is what we're talking about. The sheriff is going to try. Chief, do you know how many lines you're going to try at first? Or are you going to try to do the whole thing?
Alan Trevino, Chief Deputy for the Barnett County Sheriff's Office. We are only asking to test the Sheriff's Office itself because doing the Sheriff's Office and the jail in combination would be too extensive. And so we're asking for it to be just the sheriff's
Sheriff,
office.
yeah, that's
That's
all,
correct.
that's all,
Yep.
that's all, sorry.
And so just in those amount of lines, I believe 32, is that what, I believe there was 32 separate lines that that the sheriff's office has. And we do have a 4,200 budget of, requested this year of 59,000 just for sheriff's office phones. And I guess our idea of it also was at some point, it's very similar to the cameras. Cameras are unique to different departments within the county. And the sheriff's office is responsible for reviewing those. And so we're wanting to align, similar to the phones, align camera products being the same through the county so that we're not having to change from system to system as our bailiffs and our dispatchers are having to view those cameras. And then also with your Tyler product that everybody uses, that there's not we're all tied to a product because of the county. The same with Motorola for the sheriff's office. Just, it's a unique, the phones are unique for the county in that all of us use them. And so that the idea was at some point that they are all on the same budget. And we did request 59,000 for this year so that we had it covered. And then at some point, if in FY27, y'all decide to make it a county budget for that, obviously those funds would then go to whatever division would need to house it.
Okay, thank you. So 32 lines.
Give or take. I believe it's 32. I'm not positive.
That's fine, but okay, but again, it was going to be more like the IT did like 5 or 6 lines, so I just wanted to make sure. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay.
Is there an estimated cost, do you know, ballpark figure what we're talking about?
There's no cost for this trial run, 30-day
Oh,
trial.
there's no cost?
There's not a cost for the pilot.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we're gonna go out.
For bid, yeah, because what I'm concerned about here under chapter 262 is if we start walking first the IT, then the sheriff, and we start walking these individual departments into, say, well, we're stuck with this vendor and we haven't gone out to bid, then I'm just really concerned about chapter 262 violations for, if we're going to go ahead, we tried IT, they said it works, and then now the sheriff's going to try it, and then we're going to, we need to go out to bid to see what the best vendor is. Best, it might be it, but it might be, we might get much better deals somewhere else. So.
I move for approval on this, A and B.
All right, Commissioner Barley has moved.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dockery has seconded.
Judge.
Further discussion?
Judge, can I ask a question?
Yes, uh-huh.
On letter B, you're going to ask to go out for bid for voice over internet protocol. Is this just for the sheriff's office
No.
or for the entire
For
county?
the entire county. So
Okay,
does that need to be clarified or?
if you could clarify
Okay,
that.
all right. Is that
Yep,
consistent with your understanding?
it is.
Okay, and then
It's
second.
friendly to my second.
All right, so yeah, it was for the entire county. Thank you. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Okay, I call agenda item number 35, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding bids and bid openings, request for proposals, qualifications, and related openings, approval for the contract labor agreement of DIJ Construction for bid number 266100.02, street striping on County Road 404, County Road 401S, and the amount not to exceed $47,000 from Fund 340, 6140, 4920. Approval of contract labor agreement with DIJ Construction under bid 26610002, street striping on County Road. I think that it's
That's 421A. There's an extra
421A.
extra
Okay, there's
two
an
in
extra
there.
2 in there for the technical correction for the record, in the amount not to exceed $1,800 from the Fund 340, 6140, 4920. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? I close public comment. Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Luther has moved. Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 36, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action for the use and calculation of the FY27 Burnett County proposed budget regarding the following departments: the district clerk, the county clerk, the treasurer, and the tax assessor collector. Can we take a 5-minute recess? Sorry.
We know how you girls can get along.
Sorry. Okay, so the time is now 10:19. I'm going to call about a little over 5-minute recess, and we'll be back together. Thank you. Is my book in there? Is it, what color is it, black?
It's black. What are we doing? This one.
I need to change my batteries out here.
Okay. I can go ahead and get started. All right, time is now 10:27. We're back in session. I just called agenda item number 36 to discuss and take appropriate action for the use and calculation of the FY '27 budget. Burnett County proposed budget regarding the following departments: district clerk, county clerk, treasurer, and tax assessor collector. Are y'all okay with going in this order that I posted, or is y'all can make a arrangement? So it's going to start out with the district clerk. Oh, I'm sorry.
A lot of it's the same, so how do you,
Hit the changes.
the changes before we hit the different, the same? Okay.
Okay.
Who we doing first?
I have district clerk, but I mean, I'm okay with any
I was
way.
teasing V.
Oh,
Casey
okay.
Walker, District Clerk.
Thank you.
So where do we want to start with what we're doing individually? Yes, okay, that works for me.
Knock that.
So the only thing different on mine is going to be under 100, 4,500, 3,300, which is operating supplies. I had requested, the reason that 29,940 is in there is for the computers. Y'all took that up on the agenda today, so I appreciate that. So my operating supplies will just
That's the
remain.
3,300?
Yes,
Okay, good. So you're okay with taking that out? So, good.
yes, because y'all already approved it on the
Yes, thank
agenda
you.
earlier.
Good. Just making
So-
sure, I mean,
Yeah, no, that is really the only thing that's different on mine.
I just,
Like,
not trying to interrupt, but just trying to make sure that everybody realize that there's, what I have in my judge column is what I received from the auditor as the corrected adopted salary and fringe. So if you see it, I just don't want anybody to think, well, you asked for more money than you got. Well, that, you asked for the appropriate amount. I just got the auditor to give me the exact amount. So there's no difference between us. Does that make sense?
I'm not following, Judge.
Okay, so
Sorry.
when it came to the COLAs, the fringe and all
I got
that
you.
stuff, I just, at the time you were filling out your application or your budget, you put,
Yeah, I
you might
just
have put something in, so I'm just telling you. I'm
Sure, I
telling-
just put plus yearly increase.
Right, and that's.
Right, I didn't
that's-
actually try to
and
calculate anything.
I'm filling in the
Yes,
actual
yes, I
amount. So
appreciate
I
that.
don't want anybody to be confused that you were asking for something other than what I just filled in the auditor's
Correct.
actual numbers, so.
Right, I think
Okay.
the only discrepancy would be between what the actual elected official line item 1010 is versus what you have in the
Yeah.
proposed.
That notwithstanding. So,
Yes, Yep.
Thank you.
So that's it for me individually.
Okay.
Mine's a little bigger. Vicente Stafford County Clerk. I guess not bigger, I just have more. Thanks. Okay, so obviously y'all just voted on computers, so that has been taken out. And then when you go into my county clerk records management fund, 4042.
Page 2 of 5.
Yes. Under longevity, it does have nothing, but my records management clerk will receive longevity this year.
Okay.
So there will be funds in there needed. Whether the county pays for that or I pay for that, I don't really care, but she will get funds this year.
That's fine. I just didn't know if that was something that the auditor did or knew something, or I saw the blank, but I didn't know.
She
what it
didn't
meant.
qualify last year because she hadn't been here 2 years,
I
but she
see.
will have been here 2 years this year, so she will qualify for longevity this
Understand.
year.
So I'll check on that. Thank you.
And then if you go down to conference dues and trainings, which is 4270, I requested 20,000. I was just under the county judge proposed, it's not under there. I just didn't know if
I've just, throughout the process, I've been leaving, in other words, if it's
Okay.
something I don't understand or don't know anything about.
So,
I just leave it blank. So,
Under property or records management, I always request 20,000 of my records management money to go to the conferences because any given year, due to statute changes and things, I either will send multiple staff to the Tyler Conference, which my general budget of 5,000 does not cover. But the 20,000 does. So that's the reason that I always ask for 20,000 in records management. A lot of times they're out of state, so that's why it's higher, because some of those conferences, we also have Urban Recorder Alliance, things like that. And those conferences just tend to be more expensive. So that's the reason for the $20,000 request that I would like.
And this
And
budget,
once again, this budget is restricted funds for records management, so it's not county funds. And then under 4540, I requested 85,000. I understand that my total of licensing right now is only 64,000. We currently have 3 or 4 legislative updates that happened last year that are under review by the Attorney General. And we're still waiting on answers to find out if we're going to be responsible for them. If we're responsible for them, we will have to have software to pay for them, which is why I kept it at the 85,000 instead of the amount.
so we just need to put other and then.
Yes,
put-
yeah,
put
that's
the
fine.
difference on.
Yeah, because we just, I like to have that buffer. Like I said, notaries are being required to be followed now and things like that. They just haven't quite decided if it's going to be the clerk who has to do that or somebody else, because the statute says it's on the clerk of the court. So we're still waiting on clarification on the AG opinion on that. So I would like to keep it at 85,000 just in case I go over or I have to get a new software. And then 5750 under machinery. I always just put 3,000 in there because records management, I pay for a laptop for records management. And I never know when those are gonna go out. We have 2 right now. One's kind of maybe on its last leg. So that's the only reason I put that in there instead of putting it in the general fund, because it is strictly for records management. So I would like to keep the 3,000 for machinery and equipment inventoried. And then if you go down into 4102, which is my county clerk records archive, the records archive supplement, the 20,000 I have asked for, that is, so you'll hear again on August 11th when I do my records archive project or plan. We're in the thick of a project, and this could lead to overtime or possibly needing to supplement my people to do a job in addition to their daily job. So I went ahead and budgeted a little 20,000 for that. I don't know what it will entail. I just wanted to have the line item there in case it ends up being needed. Same with the operating supplies of 5,000 and professional services of 5,000. That was put in there last year with the direction of Greg and I. We spoke together because they're going to be providing us with storage for this project. And that 5,000 was to buy the hard drives and things that we were going to need to store it, and possibly professional services in case we needed to reach out to someone to have them like finalize and secure what we were doing. So those are the needs for those funds in my archive. Any questions? And once again, the archive is a restricted fund as well.
and the archive records management, it's your fund, it's your prerogative, basically.
It's my fund, and then I have to come to you to spend it. You have official say in spending it, but it has to meet statutory requirements to spend money on it, and it has to be a project or something like that.
Sure.
And so, yes, they're not county funds. They can't be used for anything outside of the county clerk's office. So those are, and then whatever's left, we have a hefty sum. Those are invested. So this is just what I want to take out, and then the rest gets invested in tax pool, right? Yeah. So,
Question.
any question?
Your E and O at the top,
Uh-huh.
we're not showing anything there.
So that, Casey and mine are both the same. We collect, I believe, errors and omissions funds. We had just requested that our error, or our bond be paid out of the general fund, just like every other elected official's bond. And instead of using our errors and omissions bond or money. So that's why.
What else is that used for?
I mean, if we get sued, things like that.
No, I'm saying the errors or omissions
Mhm.
is a fund that you have?
Yes, and it's basically in case we file something incorrectly, something comes back, it's kind of a safety net for us misappropriating or doing some,
Is it a
not
large
misappropriating.
fund?
I don't believe, is
it
it
a large
large?
fund?
I don't know how much is in it. I don't think it's very much. I mean, I think we only get a couple cents on every
But
case
it's money
filed.
that's being generated on filings and things like that?
Yes, on case filings.
Yeah, we tried to go back as far as we could. It's always been paid like that, and the only reason I can seem to explain was that because y'all generate.
Because we had it, yeah.
Well, I mean, because it's like, I mean, the commissioners don't generate funds. I mean, no other office holders generating funds like that. And so I think that's somewhere
Yeah.
years ago, God knows when. How far did I go back? Was
I
it
think we
five-
found out it was in 2019.
Oh,
I believe.
I was thinking 5 or 6
When
years.
Karen Smith came,
Okay.
she started paying it, I guess, because, like I said, it's probably because we have the money.
Yeah,
But we're just asking for our money to stay in case we need it.
but your bond isn't actually $1,000.
No, it's
only just
$400,
$400.
$435 or $450.
Is it a deal?
What?
I mean, does it matter? I guess is what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. We're just asking that it get paid
Okay.
just like everybody else's. And then you'll notice 4036 county clerk court facilities fees. That has nothing to do with the county clerk.
Yeah, I was wondering.
That is, there's a little office right outside this door that we use for county court at law court. It was a fund that was created to buy supplies and things for that. I don't have any say in, I have to go to the county court at law to ask them to buy toner and things like that. It's under my budget, but it's not really under my purview. Like I said,
Is it a?
it's 4036. It says county clerk, but it says court facility fees. It should be the county court facility fees,
see.
not county clerk. And so the last 2 years, it's been on my budget line, but it's really not, doesn't have to do with the county clerk.
Okay, I'll look
The money probably still needs to be there because it is for the computers and things that are in that room, but they don't fall under my office. They fall under the county court at law. So that's why I didn't ask for anything in it because it shouldn't be under mine. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Wait, one sec. Any other questions on the clerk? All right. Thank you. Sorry about that. You're just trying to help us get out of here, aren't you?
Mine's very, it's a little less intricate there. My budget request, for me individually, that's not the same, was taken up earlier today. I appreciate that as well. My operating supplies was, I requested an amount to be increased for a laptop, replenish for one that stopped working. That was approved today, so that will just go back to the 3,000 that is listed on the judge's proposed budget for operating supplies. The only other thing that I had increased was longevity, which is also noted on the judge's proposed budget as well. So.
Any questions?
Really complicated.
Okay.
Good morning, Deanne Fisher, Burnett County Tax Assessor Collector. So I'm going to go off of this handout here that has what I asked for and proposed. The biggest thing I'm asking for is a part-time Deputy Tax Assessor Collector. I wanted to point out when I filled out the budget request form, on this particular form, there's an error in title. It says Chief Deputy. It should just be Deputy Tax Assessor Collector. And so the hours that I included for part-time, I'm asking for $14,688 to be spent on part-time hours. What we have discovered.
How much again?
$14,688. I tried to take into account holidays and summer. I do have a staff of 9 full-time clerks. What happens is summer and holidays, they want to take vacation and, understandably, they have children. I get it. But in the meantime, I still want to make sure that the taxpayers are taken care of and that we're able to staff our offices. So if you could take that into consideration, I would be very grateful. And then the other changes on my line items are, overtime hours. Again, this is a challenge. I'm asking for my overtime budget to be changed from $100 to $1,500. What happens is we take title processing applications up until 4:30 in the afternoon. And a lot of times we have, someone that's new to the county and they move in and they've got 4 or 5 titles that have to be processed. And then my deputy tax assessor that processes those is running late, getting out of the office, and we're running into overtime. So I think last time I checked, this year alone, we've incurred about $900 in overtime. And I really don't want to reduce services. A lot of the local surrounding counties, what they do is they cut off no more titles after 4 p.m., but I don't think that's fair to our constituents. Our taxpayers expect services, and I don't want to reduce services. So I would appreciate it if you take that into consideration as well. And then the other increase is my operating supplies. I'm requesting an additional $2,000, so it would go from $5,000 to $7,000. I think that possibly next year I will be able to drop back down to $5,000. I inherited a couple of offices that was in significant need of newer equipment, chairs, additional, just day-to-day equipment for good, proper service for our taxpayers. So that increased. And then the other increase is travel and mileage. Mileage has been very difficult for the fact my predecessor lived in Marble Falls. Therefore, she picked all of the titles and interoffice documents up on a daily basis and brought them to this office. I don't live in Marble Falls, as you know, and so I'm having to pay my staff to transport titles, documents, license plates on a daily basis to get them from point A to point B. So that's what the additional ask in mileage is for, is to reimburse my staff since they're utilizing their vehicles. And then on my machine and equipment line item 100-4990-5750, that can actually, I think we can reduce that down. You guys did approve, the court approved 2 laptops this year, so I'm really looking at possibly only needing to replace 1 laptop next year. So I think we could drop that down to $3,500. Do you have any questions? Nope. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Uh-huh. No, the part-time position is so that I can fully staff my offices. Last week, I think I had 3 clerks in each office, and it's very difficult. So it would allow me to hire summer help, holiday help, and still allow my staff to be able to enjoy their family and utilize the leave that we so generously give them. So, but no, I would like to be able to do that, but no.
So I have a question generally. Several of you have some conference training, but you don't have travel money to get people to, is that, and one of the things that, I've been noticing is that we end up spending a lot of time doing line item adjustments or budget adjustments that the auditor can do up to $500, but sometimes I guess we forget to put a line in for, in other words, like your 20,000, I think, you don't have travel, so they can go to the conference, but we have to come to Commissioners Court to ask for.
We have always requested our travel and our hotels and our per diem out of our
That
conference
same thing.
dues and
Okay,
training.
all right,
Or that's how mine is.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
So we do a PO for
just
that and we
trying to-
just
Yeah.
take it out of the conference line.
Okay.
So
If
that covers all of
works,
our,
I just don't,
and that's one of the reasons for mine being, that one being 20,000 is because flights and hotels out of state are more expensive, so.
all right, thank you. All right, any other questions? Did that cover everything? Oh, okay, we have a group?
Yep.
Okay. Are we in the budget book still, or? are we
Still in the
somewhere
budget
else?
book.
Okay.
So I think collectively we can say that was our operational request. And then as far as our clerk and support staff employment request,
Where, I need to know where we are.
Back at the session.
yes,
They're all together.
we're,
Basically, this is gonna be on the reclass.
yes.
Okay.
And I'm speaking that I believe that the information is the same across the board for all four of our departments. And this is for reclassifying our chief deputies from a 66 currently to a group 69.
I thought we just did that. When's the last time they were reclassed?
When was that? 2 years ago?
2 or 3 years ago, we went from 65 to 66.
Yes, I believe it was 2 years ago, or 65 to a 66. So the
The ones that are at 66 now, they're at 66.8.
they're different. So mine's at a 66 step 4. I don't know for sure which theirs. I think Deanne has 2. She has one that's at a step 3 and one that's at a step 5, or no, sorry, 7 and a 4. And is yours at an 8? A 3, step 3.
So
they're
you're asserting that the COLA and the stepping grades are not keeping up with them?
So the request is being presented to maintain parity with the mid-year increases of the other positions that are grouped in Group 66. The executive director for the county attorney, district attorney, and public defender's office were all awarded or given mid-year increases. And while we recognize that the the group was not increased, the dollar amount comparatively would increase our positions to the steps, or the group 69. So,
Help me out here, I don't understand what you
Yeah,
just
I
said.
didn't follow you at all.
okay,
So-
so the increases that were approved as supplements to the other positions that are in the group 66.
Because they're being paid out of SB 22?
They are being paid out of various things. The hot check fund for the county attorney, executive director, and just a supplement that's being, it doesn't specifically say, just a supplement for the public defender's office and district attorney.
I'm good.
I want to point out that the main difference that I see in the positions that are grouped together with the executive directors of the county attorney, district attorney, and public defender to our chief deputies is, while the scope of work is similar for all those positions listed, our chief deputies have to give oath. And that by statute, if something was to happen to either 4 of us, any of the electeds, they step in as that position. I think that's the main key difference that I could explain as to what would separate and move them to a 69.
If they move into your position, they'll get a raise.
I'm sorry?
If they move into your position, they'll get a raise.
Correct, correct.
God forbid anything happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be clear about
I
that.
agree with that. I think my request for this is their level of responsibility that my chief deputy has is just as great or not, if not greater to me, as the positions that were increased $4.33 per hour. So in order for the parity to remain the same and for my chief deputy to get paid for the job duty that she's doing, my request is to increase from a 66 to a 69.
So if they're at 66.4 and they move to a 69, where are they? And it's a
same.
$4 raise, basically.
Yes.
$4 times 28. $8,000
Per person.
per person. And
Which is what was written to those group positions in budget.
Four positions mid-budget.
4 positions.
what was it for? Yeah, we turned one down, I thought.
And Sanders. 4 positions, and now 5 today. You added 1 more today.
So, but I'm pretty sure that the ones we approved mid-year were one time for the current year. It wasn't ongoing.
But it'll stay ongoing.
I don't think so.
I mean, they're not gonna step back a class after the,
We didn't change their class. The DA had, just like the sheriff and others have money for themselves, they used their money to do a stipend. And they didn't change their class. They just had additional funds that they wanted to.
they kept the same class, just got a stipend.
Right. And then, I need to go back and look. I think maybe one of them got a reclass, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But those were one-time, I'm pretty sure those were one-time events for money that they had available to them. That unique to their office.
And when that money runs out,
Or if they want to do it next
Go
year,
back.
they have to come back to us and ask again. So I need to go look at that, but that's what I thought on 2 or 3 of those, that we were just approving the DA to be able to provide a stipend. I don't know, I'm not gonna say that was definitely the way it was, but I'm pretty sure that's what was being asked, that was it one of them, the seizure money for the DA or something like that? I can't remember, chapter 59 or whatever, that was unique to those. But we'll just have to probably bring this back up and look at it.
So I think what kind of separates that too is I don't have a fund in my department that I could come back and say, to keep them along the same scale, I'm gonna supplement their pay to this fund. The district and county clerk, they also have funds where they could also supplement pay. The tax assessor does not collect funds for that. Every dollar that I earn or that I generate in my office goes to general fund for the entire county use. So that's why my request is coming to the court, because I can't add any additional money. That would be up to y'all to approve that. And that's my request.
I'm not discounting your request. I'm just
No,
trying to-
that's
I'm just
fine.
trying
I
to
just-
sort out what we actually did as opposed to.
And I just wanted to clarify, if that does come to an end at the end of this fiscal year, and they come back again and ask for additional money to be supplemented to their salary, my chief deputy, who I feel has the same responsibilities, if not greater, as currently she is my second in command for $88 million, I won't be able to supplement her pay.
Okay, any further questions?
I would just like to add that back when all this was happening and the comment was made that there would be no trickle down, this is the trickle down. Many years ago, when we had an HR committee, they spent months and months and months grouping positions together that were equal, if not compatible in their job duties and responsibilities. And due to those increases that were granted mid-budget, whether it's supplemented or whatever, it still is giving them a larger increase of funds, however it may be, that people who the HR committee said were compatible are not getting. They're not getting that money because we didn't have a supplement to supplement them. So this is part of the trickle down, whether you guys choose to move everyone in that group up, or if they choose to continue supplementing them, keeping them at 66. Either way, years ago, the HR committee decided that these people should be paid the same amount of money, whether that's achieved by supplement or not. So that is the big reason for this is retention-wise in our offices, it's hard to keep people who can go to another office and make more money with the same amount, if not less, training or years of service or anything like that. They can easily leave our offices because we're not supplementing them. And that's where it causes an issue countywide, so.
Casey Walker, District Clerk, and I'll just add that you did reclassify one today already. So with that reclassification, we're asking that our chief deputies get classified into that. And I would like for that, if y'all could vote on that today, that would be wonderful.
Deanne Fisher, TAC. I just wanted to talk about mine. I wholeheartedly believe in everything that they have already presented to you, so I won't go down that road too much further, other than my chief deputies not only have to abide by Burnett County policy, as we all should, but they also have to know Texas statutes, the Texas tax code. They have to know Texas administrative codes, as well as the DMV's policies and procedures. And that's a lot of work on a daily basis to keep up with all of those and ensure that as a state statutory agent, we're following, the letter of the law to the T, making sure every I is dotted and crossed. So with that being said, my request, not only am I asking that they be moved up to a 69, if that were to happen, I'm asking that both of my chief deputies be moved into a step 5 for the fact I have a huge amount of disparity between my two chiefs. One of them, due to her tenure, is a grade 66 step 7, and the other one, being that she's only been here a year, she's, I believe, a step 4. And I just feel it's really not fair because that step 4 works 100% as hard as my other one that is at a step 7 due to her tenure. So regardless whether you grant the reclassification, I am asking that I can move my newer chief deputy up to the same step as my other one that's at a step 7, so that I can have parity between the two. So if you just consider it that, I'd be very grateful. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Roxanne Nelson, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1. So when you're calculating COLA for these that have gotten supplements, if they're only supplements, is the COLA going to include their pay as it was raised by the supplement, or will it be just their base salary?
I haven't looked at that, one of those yet.
Okay,
I don't know.
thank you.
It's in a draft that I have in the office, but because we're only taking them as we're doing them, I haven't paid any attention to it. But I'll see, but I'm pretty again, I'll go look later and we'll see if the supplement was carried forward, because I don't believe that at least 3, if not all 4 of those supplements should have been carried forward, but I need to look at that. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Sorry, just a quick question. The supplements, did you say that 3 of them have already been requested to be carried forward?
No,
No,
I'm saying,
okay.
I said, I think 3 of the 4 were actual supplements that would have to be
I see, okay.
reapplied. But I have to go look to see what the auditor has filled in. Like, she gives me drafts of, like, just like what I did with y'all, you know, when it was your turn, she sent me the correct numbers for your departments based on what she had in her, you know, between Shirley, it's whatever, clerk at step 4 or whatever, then I got the step 4 and then calculated based on step 4, step 5, step 8. All that got calculated into longevity and things. So there's a few of them that might be wrong because maybe there's staff turnover or something unique to that. But I've only been I haven't been looking ahead. I've just, this is all I could handle is looking at the time. So we haven't taken any of the, as far as I know, we haven't taken any of those on, right? Public defender?
No.
Okay, we haven't taken any of those on, so I haven't looked at any of those. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay.
So for today, can we plug in the requests?
It's up to y'all. Right now is what Madeline and I are fixing to start working on is all filling in that list that I talked to you about yesterday. Was it yesterday? It feels like it's so long ago. We're going to try to get that list of all the things that I'm not, you know, I'm not denying anything. I'm just going to try to get a comprehensive list. I just got the tax numbers, I guess, early this morning or late last night. I haven't even had time to look at them. But as I said in other meetings, they're pretty flat from this year. So then we have to make choices about fund balance. We have to make choices about buildings. We have a lot of choices to make very, very quickly. So it's, but it will go into my list, and for things that we'll have to take comprehensively and look at them. If you want to take an action, you're welcome to do so now, but it will be, I'll just be carrying forward all of these items into the list.
Question for clarification. In a previous budget workshop or special session where Commissioners Court approved the project manager, that was for FY '27, correct? And then today, that was reclassified. So that is going to go on your list and it's going to stay, correct?
Everything's subject to change.
Well, how are you going to change that one when y'all just voted to reclassify that position and move that to a different?
It's all about how much money is in the final budget. It's available to the final budget, but
So it's a possibility that position could go back to the support specialist and a different grade level?
I can't say, but that was, as far as I know, that's the only vote. It was the Commissioners Court's own budget. I'm not sure.
Right, and I guess that's my question.
That was our first go, and so I
So
don't
you're
know.
voting on commissioners and county judge budget, but you're not going to vote on any of the other budgets?
I don't think,
Okay, just a clarification
yeah,
question.
I don't think we voted on the county judge budget, but I might be wrong. I know they voted on the Commissioner's budget.
And then reclassified today, what was voted on for FY '27, reclassified in FY '26? Okay.
It's,
It's frustrating.
okay, it shouldn't be. This is what they're elected to do. But anyway. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, anything else? I call agenda item number 37, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the budget policy, fund overview, and expenditure accounts description. That's, of course, the budget policy we've been talking about. We've talked about, is there anything I should be working on or one of you want to volunteer to work on regarding the budget policy? We've got some mileage issues we've got to address. We've talked about, is there anything else in that policy that we should be working on? So for instance, on the Burnett County policy, is it,
There was, I think that's on, let's see.
it's in the, should be in the front of your book. Is it generally, one of the things that Shirley told me a while back is that we don't have a policy that requires all employees to work 40 hours. Is there a general belief that at least every employee should be working 40 hours or taking leave?
If they're full-time,
I'm saying if they're full-time, yes.
they should. I mean, or, well, I guess, are they hourly?
Sure. Uh-huh.
There is policy that if a full-time employee is not at their regular scheduled hours, as payroll, we automatically implement leave to bring them to their full-time scheduled work week. So there is that policy.
So, but I guess what, maybe Shirley's, so she's saying, so like we have this thing called time clock. Is that what you're talking about? And so that it has to always come out. So there's a process for making sure that people are recording their time. But I guess what she was telling me is like, we don't have a policy that makes sure that, like where we say that all full-time employees must work 40 hours a week or their dedicated time or whatever, like if they're part-time, right? Because we have like Worley down in the Veterans Service Officer, he's what, 32 hours, but he doesn't get leave. Is that correct?
Correct, because I believe that is it's a part-time.
I'm sorry, it's three
position.
times 8. He's 24. He's 24, three 8-hour days, or he's 24 hours. And then we have librarians. What was that request yesterday? Like some are like 20 hours, some are like
A little bit
24.
more, but they're all part-time.
Right, but they
And
don't get leave. Okay.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that for full-time employees, if they don't have a leave entered into their time clock, or they did not punch in and out for actual hours worked,
okay.
at payroll, we automatically fill that 240 or 84 for shift employees with leave. So, I mean, there is that policy that states they have to have that many
Okay,
hours.
but that's just because of the
For
system.
payroll.
We don't actually have we don't have a policy that says all full-time employees must work at least 40 hours a week. Because that's what Shirley was telling me. I don't know. If y'all want me to look at that, I can just confirm that with Shirley and make sure that we have in our personnel policy that all full-time employees must work 40 hours or take leave. So I know it's kind of, anyway, it's just one of the things I learned recently. So like, we talked about the fleet policy yesterday. Am I supposed to be doing something on that? Are you expecting me to work on that, on the fleet policy, the mileage?
I think
Am I-
Chief was gonna bring in a recommendation for us to vote on.
Okay, and do I need to be looking at other counties or jurisdictions or?
I think he
anything
has
else?
been.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they had those.
okay. Are we gonna go with Lanos? So.
Should drive it till the wheels fall off.
Just kidding, I'm kidding. Okay, anything else? All right,
That's my personal, that's what I do on my personal
yeah, well,
rides.
that's what I,
Because they don't do the push, pull, or drag trade-ins
okay,
anymore.
no motions or anything else to be done on this that you want to direct or provide input? Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and call agenda item number 31, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the approved sign and execute necessary documents and actions regarding the following sponsorships from FY '27 from the Hotel Motel Tax Fund 140, 6640, 4500, Hill Country Community Theater, Season 41, center stage sponsor in the amount not to exceed $6,000. Judge Frank Riley was trying to be here for this, asked me to put it off in the meeting, but he's not here, so we're going to go ahead and consider it. I don't know that I have anybody here to speak, but they made application and they have an entire season of events with many people coming from out of town, and they recommend approval. So,
That's coming out of Hot Ones.
yes, sir.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Collier has moved, Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any public comment? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 38, acknowledgement of receipts, PEC utility connections, Burnett County Auditors FY 26 monthly financial report for June, and then I've already talked about the state of Texas proclamation for the governor. Nothing to be done here. I call agenda item number 39, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding Commissioners Court modifying regular scheduled meetings. I think we've already got some meetings coming up scheduled. I think, Commissioners, I have to start preparing to do the public notice. The statute says we have to have an adopted budget by the 15th. We do have a session on the 11th. Is that 11th? Okay. But we do have some departments that can't make it till then. So do you want to consider trying to work through the budget so we can post it before the 15th, or we're going to have to set another meeting by the 15th to get our posting done? Yes, sir.
5th, the 6th.
We have the 5th, the 6th, and the 11th. Is that correct?
11th is a regular,
Yes,
and the 13th.
because we have to do postings, public postings in the newspaper, things like that. We're getting close to be able to get some of this stuff identified.
How many departments is that?
It was just-
As far as I know,
Court
it's
of
County
Law?
Court at Law is the only one that couldn't make the.
And you
5th
can't
or
make the
6th.
11th?
They were going to make, yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He can make the 11th.
Good on 11.
And then we try to get ready to, because that means we have to post meeting notice, I mean, what do you call it? Newspaper notices about what we're, public hearings and things like that.
Well, kind of what's gonna be the agenda for the 13th? The final?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Where we're
to, yeah,
at?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Are we going to try to press to the 11th and so have our public, because I have to know.
Well, the Court of Law has he given any indication, I mean, it says about the same, or is he wanting any big changes?
There's one or two changes. I'm sorry, I don't have it here. I glanced at that, just trying to figure out what we needed to talk about, but I don't.
He can't make the 5th or the 6th.
Right, that's correct.
Well, can we,
I mean, we're gonna do all of our final cuts, ads on the 13th, right? I mean, he's basically gonna come in here like
On
the
the
ladies
11th.
did today and say,
And then-
this is what I wanna change,
Okay.
correct?
And then, right, and then, but what I have to do is start planning and like when we're gonna post the public hearing so that we can adopt the tax rate and do all that
or
stuff.
why
So-
can we not take his application or submittal for his, and hear it on the 5th or 6th? Does he have to be present?
I don't know, I'll check, I'll go back and confirm.
We can hear it, put it in our budget workshops, and
Okay.
the 5th or the 6th, and then.
Maybe he could do
I
a
know-
selfie video. That would be great. We could put it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zoom
like
in.
virtual.
Okay, so let me, so the next meeting from today. So can we, is that the 11th? We have. Well, that's really the question. I've got to post 10 days for the public hearing prior to the meeting. So we're either posting. So this week would be the posting.
Yeah, you need to post and do it, have the first public hearing on the 11th, is usually what we do
Okay,
historically.
that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd get his requests and then, see what
sure
we're
I
considering, for sure.
Okay. All right. Then hopefully we can wrap up everything and look at the list on the 5th and 6th. Be ready for the 11th. Okay, got that? Okay, well, let's work on that today, see what they have. Just to reserve a spot. Okay, All right, I call agenda item number 40, calendar review. We've got the two transportation meetings, the 6th and the 13th. Any other items? The 6th in Burnett at the AgriLife Building and the 13th, right? Is that the, yeah, 13th? at,
13th at the First Baptist Church.
First Baptist Church on La Ventana Drive.
Before we adjourn, we had that one, that
Number 9.
Herb had number 9.
Oh, yeah.
That was for the 127 building. We tabled that one, or so we were gonna table it.
I don't think that anyone's here from me.
Yeah, so 9 we can
9
skip.
we pass on.
Thank you.
Pass.
Or pass, yeah.
14 we passed.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Coughlin. All right, anything else on calendar review? I move, do I hear a motion for adjournment? Loser? Collier seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Feel pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Could have been a lot more.
Of course, save some time on that whole half a page.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we would have been here still. Got it.